So we heard from Alec. Let's go to Representative Travis Nelson, Democrat out of Portland. Travis, I appreciate you being with me. I know you and I are complete opposites, but somehow we've been able to hold some kind of cordial, professional relationship over the past couple years. And, you know, I do respect you as a person. I don't respect your politics, and I don't respect your party and what you guys are doing to Oregon. I know you completely disagree, and you often tell me I don't fully tell the truth, and I think you use the word half-truths and all those kind of good, fun languages. So can you explain to me, we're showing this drag show thing, or this drag show performance on the floor, House floor. Can you explain to me what this was about? What does this have anything to do with what's going on in our problems in Oregon right now?
Yeah, I'm actually really proud of what happened today, David. As you are aware, every day during session, we have an opening ceremony. A lot of times that's artists, it's preachers, musicians. Earlier this session, I had two preachers that I invited to give remarks and to address the House during the opening ceremonies. I don't recall you covering that, though, but you're covering this. The opening ceremony today was done in conjunction with a resolution that I put forward, House Resolution 3. As you are aware, we are in the midst of Pride Month, and tomorrow is Juneteenth. And so this resolution simply says that we are recognizing as a state the contributions of African American drag artists to Oregon's culture and art scene.
How many African American drag performers are in Oregon right now that you know of?
What's that?
How many African American drag performers exist in Oregon right now?
Oh, wow. I could think of a dozen at least. I mean, probably the most famous drag queen in the entire state, if not the Northwest, is a drag queen called Poison Waters, who has been a longtime fixture of Portland and Oregon's drag scene.
So this was a political stunt to kind of push your bill, is what you're saying?
Well, there's no bill. This was a resolution.
In
which we recognized them. And it was not a political stunt. As I've told you, opening ceremonies happen just about every single day. Republicans invite folks to address the legislature. Democrats do as well. A variety of artists, performers, pastors, musicians have addressed the legislature over the course of this session, and resolutions. We've had a ton of resolutions this session. I would venture to say probably dozens. Just the other day, we resolved to make the T-bone steak the official steak of Oregon, and that was something that
that's a big priority, what we need right now, for sure.
Republicans brought that. I believe that was Senator Nash, who is a cattle farmer, and I think we spent about 45 minutes debating that in the House.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why you're bringing that up right now, because the point is like you guys called the Republicans bringing two high school female athletes a couple weeks ago into the House to fight for fairness in women's sports. You guys called that a political stunt. You guys got on them for that. There was, reports coming out of the Capitol that the Democrats were stomping off the floor just for bringing these high school girls who just want fairness in their own sports. So you guys called that a political stunt, but you're going to sit here and have drag queens dancing on the House floor and not call that a political stunt?
Well, David, I'm vaguely familiar with what you are referring to. I don't believe I was here on the floor that day. I think you're referring to what's called a bill pool, which is a procedural stunt that can be used by an individual or even the opposition party. It's not exactly how things are normally done. It's not standard order in the House, but I hear you there. But this resolution is something that we originally intended to do back in February during Black History Month. I think you're aware of that.
Okay.
We pulled the resolution. Wait, hold on. We pulled the resolution and decided to bring it back before Juneteenth during Pride Month, a time that we thought to be an appropriate time to do something.
Here's where a lot of Oregon families have the problem, though, Travis, is that you guys are openly mocking a bunch of parents and a lot of parents' opinions. I'm just telling you what people are thinking here in Oregon, because believe it or not, to the Democrats and you and the Democrats, it's not just Democrat voters that live in Oregon. It's a lot of conservative voters, a lot of Christian voters, a lot of religious, other religions, a lot of people that don't agree with this whole drag agenda. Why are you guys so obsessed with this whole drag show, drag queen, which I don't even care much about. Like, drag show has been around for a long time. Drag has been around since ancient Rome, since ancient Greece. It's been around for a long time. But my problem, as well as a lot of other parents in Oregon, they see it as a kind of a Trojan horse that the far left agenda has kind of hijacked to push on kids today. That's kind of our problem. And then in addition to all of other Oregon's problems, this is the scene coming out of Salem right now. This is the scene is we're showing the video on the screen right now. This is the scene coming out of our government. And it just is like, where are our priorities? So why this whole thing with drag? Why are you guys pushing this, especially like Drag Time Story Hour on kids? Can you explain to me the obsession there? Seriously.
I don't think we have the obsession. I think you have the obsession. You know, I'm the first openly LGBTQ plus African American to ever serve in this body. Oregon is the gayest state in the nation. Nearly 1 out of every 12 Oregonians is living their lives out and proud.
Did you know there's a lot of gay conservatives here too?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've met a lot of them, seen them at drag shows in the past.
You guys don't care what they have to say?
We absolutely do.
Unless they're Democrats. Unless they're Democrats, you guys don't listen. Because here's the thing, Travis.
Travis, you know I grew up in rural Eastern Washington. I have a lot of conservative friends.
Yeah.
I would even add you in amongst them. You know, outside of when we are on camera, we actually, I think, get along pretty good. But there's no stunt here. There's no agenda. This resolution was simply about recognizing a group that has long gone unrecognized and forced in the shadows.
Yeah, because all of Oregon was asking for drags to be recognized. That's really a priority. When you guys are trying to like pass billions of dollars of new taxes to fix your problems that your party created. So I just, you know, I consider you a friend too. I really do. I think you're a really nice guy. And for those that don't know, you guys are like, how can you call him a nice guy? Listen, it's called doing what Jesus called us to do, which is have relationships with even people that we don't agree with. Okay, so don't freak out. And if you follow me and you want to unfollow me because of it, then go ahead. I don't care. But at the same time, it's like, I consider you a friend, but at the same time, it's like, why you guys can't even tell us what a woman is? You guys don't even believe in real women. You guys believe that people like Leah Rose and Aiden Gallagher can go there and steal the opportunities from real biological girls in high school sports. And so when you do stuff like this whole drag on the house floor, that's where it's like, it's almost like you guys don't care about what over half or half of Oregonians even think about, because there are a lot of Democrats that don't agree with that whole fairness in sports, this whole biological males in women's sports agenda that you guys are continue to push.
Look, David, what happened today was a resolution in which we recognized the cultural and artistic contributions of Black drag queens over the course of the last couple of decades. Dressing up in drag, performing in drag is a lot different than being transgender. Drag queens are usually gay men who dress up in women's clothing and they perform, they raise money, they do a lot of wonderful things in the community.
First of all, do you know why drag was even started, like back in the old days? Do you even know why? Like, do you know the history of drag?
Tell me what you think, David.
No, I'm asking. Do you honestly know the history of drag, of how it was started back in ancient times?
I would think drag has been around for a very long time. I'm sure men have been dressing in women's clothing, probably in secret, for centuries, but I'd love to hear your perspective.
It's not a perspective, it's a fact. The drag has been around for a long time because women weren't allowed to act in theater. They weren't allowed to act. They weren't allowed to have presence. They weren't allowed to have say in society back in ancient Rome, ancient Greece. So men had to take the parts in theater of women. And so, and that's where it originally started. But fast forward to today, has been completely hijacked, in my opinion, by the far left. And for some reason it continues to be sexualized. I mean, if you see some of these videos, Travis, you cannot argue that in some of these videos, and you may be okay with it because you probably do think it's not harmful to kids. And millions of other American parents around the country seem to differ that when you have a drag queen that's doing sexual dances, that's half naked, it's maybe not appropriate. Why does it have to be sexualized? Why does it have to be and actually in a lot of leftist circles that I've read, they've actually used the drag queen kind of agenda to tear apart gender norms. That has been said in leftist circles. So it's not just this performance. It's a Trojan horse, and you know it, Travis.
David, there is no Trojan horse. I've been around for quite a while. I've been to many drag shows. They are usually age appropriate for the audience. The drag queens who performed at the Capitol today were wearing as much clothing as many women around here often wear. There is no Trojan horse. These are performers who are pillars of their community, who have done fantastic things, who are sharing their art with us. And that's really what this is about, despite what you're trying to make it.
Can we start a House resolution for Democrats in the Capitol to recognize Republican and conservative and Christians in the state? Can we get a resolution for them to recognize them? Because you guys don't seem to care about what we think or about anything going on. The education, the streets are horrible. Our transportation system is a mess. You guys run all branches of government, Travis. How do we fix this?
Well, David, I'll just say that I think Democrats have done a lot of things. I think we're going to have a lot to be proud of at the end of this session. But I came on here today to talk about the opening ceremony. And again, there's no drag agenda. This was something that was fun. It was something that most of the chamber enjoyed. I had about a 10-minute speech that I gave as it relates to the resolution that we ended up passing. No Republican on the floor today spoke up in opposition to the resolution or said anything when they had the opportunity to debate. Overall, I think things went really well today, and I think the cutting up of clips and showing selective bits of what happened today is really misleading, and that's unfortunate because I think a good thing was done in the Capitol today.
Okay, well, fair enough. This is going to go out in its entirety, so there you go. I gave you the platform for you to explain your guys' reasoning behind this. I hope that somehow makes it seem like I'm fair, because you always call me unfair and I always share half truths. No, I like to share the facts, Travis. And Oregon is not on a good trajectory right now in many different areas, education being one of them. And I just speak truth, my friend. And you may not like it, and that's okay. And you do your thing. But at the end of the day, this is what it looks like, folks, to have a conversation from someone that's a conservative Christian and someone that is a Democrat, gay. I don't know how you say. I don't want to disrespect how you say how you identify as yourself, but like gay black man. Is that too harsh?
Sure, if that's what you'd like to call me, David.
Okay.
I'll just say
Oregon's first gay black legislator.
Yeah, hold on. I just want to say we have challenges here in Oregon. Every state has their own unique challenges. But that said, I do think we are improving in a lot of different ways. Okay. And I think that Oregon is a great place to live. And I'm a proud Oregonian.
As you wave the hand like a Jedi mind trick over your voters, because they all seem to keep voting for you guys and you guys keep winning elections. So I don't know how you guys do it. I would love to be taught the skills that you guys have to fool so many voters to voting for you guys. But I will say this. I'll end on a good note. Travis Nelson, I appreciate you. You stick to your guns. You stick to what you believe in. You don't try to, appease me to be my friend. You tell it how it is. I love that. I don't like people that sit on a fence. And I really appreciate you joining me. And do you want to, I'm sure a lot of people that don't know about you that are liberals will watch this. How can people find you?
People can find me on the socials, Instagram, X, Facebook. And I'm the state representative for North and Northeast Portland, House District 44, a seat that was previously held by the governor. And so I would love for folks to watch what I'm doing. I think I've worked on a lot of really good things this session. And maybe we'll have a conversation after session about some of the great things that myself and Democrats have gotten done.
I can't wait, man. And you're one of the very few Democrats that would actually have the courage to come on here and take it on head on. So I think you're going to go far in your political career, man. And as a friend, not as a voter, not as a dad, not as anything else, but as a friend, I wish you the best. I really do, man. And we'll talk soon. Okay.
Thank you, David. And you know that I have a lot of conservative friends. I grew up in rural Eastern Washington, the reddest part of the state. And I'm more than comfortable enough having conversations with folks that I disagree with. Having those type of civil conversations makes our democracy better.
Constitutional republic. Yes. Sorry, I had to get that in there. I'm sorry. You know me. I like to tease you. All right, man. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and follow me at Dave Medina PDX across all social media. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.